Out of the gates and ready to go. Welcome in to this live edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Schultz here with you. So glad to have you with us. A loaded show ahead as we will be discussing the idea of signing David Bakhtiari in NFL free agency. He has been named as a top free agent target for your Kansas City Chiefs. We'll look into that possibility coming up in just a matter of moments. Also, we have the contract details on Noah Gray's new deal with the Chiefs. We'll explain that and what that means for Brett Veach and company going forward in just a little while from right now. Later on, we will preview the Chiefs matchup with the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll give you my 5 keys to victory. We'll go over the injury report as well. And also, we'll talk about Xavier Worthy. I'm going to explain why Xavier Worthy will shock the NFL in 2024. And we'll also do Q&A rumors mailbag as well. Get your questions in now using hashtag Chiefs or super chatting to get on today's show. As you guys file in, shout out your city. We'll shout you out as we get this show off and rolling here on this Tuesday afternoon. Tyler Jones here. Big Tex on the ones and twos. Big Tex, good to have you back. We had a good time on the watch party on Thursday night, and you and I are going to do it again. We're doing a bit of a marathon on Sunday here.
Yes, back to backs, if you will.
Yes.
No doubt, it'll be a good game.
People can hang out with us. We're going to do the Seahawks game first.
Oh yeah.
The Seahawks Patriots game over on Seahawks today, and then Big Tex is going to be here with me right after that for Chiefs and Bengals. So a fun Sunday ahead on the Chat Sports family of networks, and certainly looking forward to this Chiefs-Bengals game. What a game we had on Thursday night, by the way.
No doubt. It's an electric game.
Just down to the wire. Toes don't lie.
Toes don't lie.
And now here we are again taking on a Bengals team that's coming off a loss to New England. Big Texas. Everybody gets their cities in the chat. I see Tony from El Paso, David checking in from Ontario, Greg in Sacramento. Let us know where you're watching from. I think that just because they lost to New England doesn't mean this Bengals team should be taken lightly. I think the Bengals are going to come in pretty hungry. I think you were already going to get the Bengals' best effort anyway, but coming off a loss, I would expect that the Bengals are going to give this Chiefs team all they can handle Sunday.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at recent history, the only really big teams to beat the Chiefs in the AFC are the Bengals in recent memory in terms of like the AFC Championship game going to the Super Bowl against the Rams. I think the Bengals, especially like you said, given the fact that they lost and got embarrassed in week 1, I think that they're going to come in with a chip on their shoulder and give them their best out. And it's going to be a really tight, close game.
And I was talking to a friend of the show, Sam Brown, before we went on air, and he's like, man, I'm just not impressed with this Bengals team right now. I'm like, here's the thing. The NFL is a week-to-week league.
True. Just
because you look bad last week doesn't mean that you are that team going forward. That could have been just the wake-up call the Bengals needed from here.
True.
Greg in Sacramento. I got Richard checking in from Kansas. Got Bruce in KC. Good to see y'all. How many Chiefs tight ends can you name all time? We're going to be talking about one here in just a bit, Noah Gray. So I'll give you that one on top of a very obvious name, of course, that's out there. Who can come up with the most Chiefs tight ends in the comments section? There's been a lot of good ones over the years here in Kansas City. Who comes to mind? Let's see who can come up with the most and be the early favorite to be the MVP on today's show. I want to see how many you can come up with in one comment. Chiefs Kingdom, let's see. Test your Chiefs knowledge, what you can come up with. Shad's got one. Tony's got one. I need more than that, though, folks. I need more than one. I've already given you a freebie in Noah Gray. So, and with the obvious one that's in the chat right now, that's 2. That's where you start. At a minimum, you should have 2, and then go from there. Let's see who could come up with the most Chiefs tight ends. While you guys are doing that, let's tell you about today's sponsor. That is Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, Game Time has got you covered. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals and great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have their super deals. If you stumble upon a super deal, you can't pass up on it, folks. They also have their seat views, so you can see what the seat is like, get the visual. You pick the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. You choose your seats. If you like that seat or not, then you're checking out on Game Time with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Game Time, proud partner of the Chiefs Report. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, let's hear from you. I already got 90 people watching so far. I want more people to come hang out with us and join us for our live show today. So let's get the algorithm's attention a little bit here. I need everybody to spam C for this next minute. Big Tex is going to shout out everybody that spams C. And we're going to see if we can set a chat rate record for the most C's we've ever seen in the chat. So if you want a shout out, you want some love for Big Tex, be like Tony and start spamming C in the chat. And let's see how many we can get in this first minute of the show. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's get it. David, Tony, Jeremy in there. Tony, Clayton, Tony, Jeremy, Tony. Don't let me beat you. Tony. Tony is in the lead right now. What the heck, guys? Come on, spam C. Hector.
Keep going.
Clayton, Tony, Hector. Come on. Get rowdy, Chiefs Kingdom. Let's go. Clayton, Greg. There we go. Jeremy. Tony, now you're listening. Clayton, Jeremy, Bruce, Jeremy, Tony, Jeremy, Charge, Jeremy. Jeremy's beating everybody right now. What the heck are we doing, guys? Let's go. Tony, Jeremy, Bruce. Let's get this chat rate. Let's go.
Keep going. Keep going. Faster.
Bill.
Faster.
Tony, Jeremy, Tony, Charge, Bruce. Let's go.
30 seconds gone by. Keep going. You guys are awfully
Bill.
quiet right now. Got to speed it up a bit.
David. Let's go. Jeremy, Charge, Clayton, Tony, Shad, Bill, David, Jeremy, Bruce. Let's go. Spam C. Cop, Shad, Tony, Cop, Clayton, Cop, Greg, Cop, Tony, Clayton, Cop. Let's go. Don't stop. Get rowdy.
10 seconds.
Bruce, Tony, Clayton, Cop, Clayton, Cop, Tony, Clayton, Cop, Clayton and Cop at the top. Clayton, Cop, Clayton, Cop, Greg.
There we go.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff there, everybody. Thanks for getting in on the chat and letting your voice be heard. We're at 23 likes right now. I need to get to about 45, I think. Did I say 45? No, let's go to 40. Let's go to 40. Let's get to 40 likes. That's only about 16 more, and I'll open up my first can of cold beer. Got some I got some Coors Light. Mountains are blue. We will start the show, and I will crack open a beer when we get to 40 likes. Big Tex, what's the choice there? Are you going Zen, or do I see gum today? I thought you were pulling a fast one on me, going with gum over Zen today.
Well, no, I have both.
Okay.
Both. I got gum.
So
and
you put them both in at the same time?
I have tried it. It's not the best thing ever if you chew gum. You'd have to just set it there, and then it just gets kind of gross. If you don't chew the gum.
Kind of defeats the purpose.
Exactly. So when you're moving around, it kind of moves the pouch a little too much around. It's a chaotic scene in the mouth.
Okay.
No doubt.
So what is your choice of pouches today?
I think.
What do we have on the pouch menu?
I'll show you. I got you.
What did you go with, and what do you have for me?
You can choose either, but
okay.
I'm going to pop in one of these blue mint Zins, 3
okay.
milligram. And then we also have, let me turn that the right way.
The fellow winter green.
Number 7, or 7.
I'm feeling Zen today.
All right.
You guys know how it works. We Zen for wins.
Oh, yeah.
And it may be Tuesday. Chiefs don't play till Sunday. But that doesn't mean that it's too early for us to start Zenning for wins here. Thank you, Big Tex.
Yes, sir. Do you have any more Happy Dads on you, bro?
I got another Coors Light. You want a Coors?
I'll take it.
All right.
Fuck it.
Why not? Why not have a beer on a Tuesday afternoon?
That's right. At our job, we get to drink because we're cool.
5 more likes before we can open them, though. We got to wait for people to get us 5 more likes, so then you and I can cheers together and drink some beers, have some Zens, enjoy ourselves on this Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
There's a certain event on television tonight that's certainly going to make people want to drink.
True.
So we're just getting ahead of it. We're starting the
keep it
party
at that,
tonight. Yeah, a certain event that's going to be on every network tonight is certainly going to make you want to drink. So we're just going to get ahead on it. I'm actually going to, in case you're wondering what that is, referring to the presidential debate tonight. I am heading to a party tonight where we're having pizza, some booze, some brownies, and some salad this evening.
That's right.
So that's what I will be partaking in. I need 3 more likes before I can open up this can of beer and start drinking here on this Tuesday night. Okay, Big Tex. What do we have here today? We have first time Super Chat, you get the KC chant. $5 Super Chat, you get the Mahomes song. I like the shades from Mahomes there. Is that some Ray-Bans, or you think some Shady Rays?
Brand I think that he's affiliated with. I think he has a brand that he has on Google Images. So yeah.
$10 will take a shot. By the way, for shots today, I put a little mixed drink in my KU Yeti today. So I'll just take a big chug of a shot of my mixed drink in my Yeti today if we get a $10 Super Chat. $25 Super Chat will keep being boozled. I got Sriracha, Jalapeno, Cayenne, Habanero, Carolina Reaper. $50 Super Chat will get out the beer bong. Here it is in all its glory right here. We'll do some chugging. Let's see who's going to send in the first Super Chat of the day. $sign next to the chat box. You will get priority for our mailbag segment if you send in a Super Chat. And then for the boot, I have still yet to do a boot on the Chiefs report. I would love to change that today, but I need you guys to give me the opportunity to change that today. If we reach $200 collectively, I will do a boot. 3 beers in one. We'll chug it as quick as we can. Big Tex, we did reach 40 likes, so put yourself back on screen. Let's cheers together for the kingdom. And let's get this show started. Big Tex, go Chiefs.
Cheers.
Nice win against the Ravens last week. Let's beat the Bengals this week. Also, you got the Texas shirt on. Shout out to Xavier Worthy, who we'll talk about today.
Shout out to Xavier Worthy.
Big win for your Horns on Saturday.
Huge win. Huge win.
I went out of my way to text this guy saying his team was going to be a national title contender. You know what he did? He just liked my text. No response. How rude. How rude of Big Tex. I said something nice about I said something nice about Texas. He couldn't even respond. How about that? Just leave me hanging. Cheers to all parties involved.
TJ knows ball.
Even Big Tex, who didn't respond to my text. Left me unread. Tex was probably in a haze of sorts after that performance.
I was on cloud 9, if you will.
Yeah. We'll let it slip by. All right. Coming up on today's show, news and rumors. We're talking David Bakhitiari as well as Noah Gray. We'll preview the Chiefs matchup against the Bengals and tell you what to expect. My 5 keys to watch for. The text is getting shrunk on that next one, by the way. I'll go over the injury report. I'll tell you why I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. I got my prediction. We'll go over all of that coming up in just a bit. Also, I will explain why Xavier Worthy will shock the NFL this season. Already off to a great start with that game against the Ravens, but he ain't done just yet. We'll explain more. And then we'll do a Q&A rumors mailbag as well to end today's show. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of the show. David says, I am Canadian. Okay. Very cool. He also says I'm a Mizzou Tiger fan. I don't know what's worse, being Canadian or being a Mizzou Tiger fan. That's unfortunate. But David, welcome anyway, even if you are Canadian and even if you are a Mizzou Tiger fan. Rock chalk, go Jayhawks. Much appreciated. Mike with a super chat. Good to see you. Let's see if our graphics will pull it. If not, we'll have to build it manually. We get to sing the Mahomes song. Hey, there we go. Mike with a $5 super chat says, hi, Tyler. It's a great time in my football world. The Chiefs are going for a three-peat, and my Huskers are finally on the right track. I didn't get to see the Nebraska game live because I was at the Oklahoma-Houston game on Saturday, which was just disgusting football. But big win for the Huskers. I'm a big believer in Matt Rule. I think he's doing a great job. They dominated. I like the Raiola kid. They're calling him a young Mahomes. He's got the look of him. I don't know, like the skill set necessarily. But Nebraska's well on their way. This is the most confident I've felt in Nebraska in a long time. I think that's a good Huskers team. who knows? Maybe they're going to surprise some people and compete for the Big Ten this year. Mike, I think you might be onto something there. Chiefs are going to repeat. Nebraska's going to go to a bowl game. You finally got the right head coach, the best coach Nebraska's had since Bo Pelini. Maybe even the best coach they've had since Frank Solich, potentially. Solich was there in the early 2000s, took him to a national championship game. So, Mike, we owe you the Mahomes song for that. So, Mike, this one's for you. Take me home, Pat Mahomes, to the place we belong, Kansas City, to New Orleans. Take me home, Pat Mahomes. There you go. Thank you for that, Mike. Much appreciated. Thanks for sending that super chat. You can be like Mike, send in a super chat. And with that $5, that means we are $195 away from Das Boot here on today's show. Let's get started with our first segment. Let's talk David Bakhtiari and Noah Gray. And then we'll get to our game preview segment for the Chiefs and Bengals game. Mike is saying, are we doing super chat karaoke requests? Yeah. You know what? You send in a $5. It doesn't have to be the Mahomes song. You can send in a karaoke request. I will sing for you. Or maybe you want Big Texas to sing. We can do karaoke. I am all game for karaoke. If you guys got some song requests. $5 super chat. You can choose the Mahomes song, or we can do some karaoke. I don't care for that matter. Game preview. Why Xavier Worthy will shock the NFL. Then a Q&A mailbag to wrap things up. Let's go ahead and get started with our first segment of the day. News and Rumors starts right now. Coming up on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, we're going to talk about the idea of signing David Bakhtiari in NFL free agency, as he's been named as a top free agent target by the folks at Last Word on Sports. We'll show you what they had to say, react to it, coming up in just a matter of moments. Also, the details are out on Noah Gray's new extension with the Chiefs. We'll tell you what it means for Kansas City and for Noah Gray, coming up in just a matter of moments. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. It's not too early to get ready for Sunday's game against the Bengals. If you want to beat Cincinnati this week, like the video, don't jinx it, do your part for a Chiefs win this weekend. I want to see no less than 500 likes on today's video. Don't be the reason why the Chiefs lose because you didn't like the video. It worked last week against the Ravens. Let's do it again this week. Like the video, and we'll get started with today's show. David Bakhtiari, could he be on his way to Kansas City? The former All-Pro still remains available in NFL free agency to this point, and the folks at Last Word on Sports have named Kansas City as a top destination for the services of the free agent offensive tackle. Here's what they said. The Chiefs have the best interior offensive line in football, but their tackle situation remains a bit of a mess. Second-round pick Kingsley earned the Week 1 start, but finished his NFL debut with a 48.9 PFF grade, the 57th best mark out of 63 eligible players. Kingsley may have a bright future in this league, but asking him to start right out of the gate might be asking too much. David Bakhtiari could provide starting caliber play at a smaller cost while Kingsley adjusts to NFL life. All right, so we're going to dive back into what they had to say. They had more to say in just a moment, but first, let me just say this. Kingsley needs time. Where I disagree with his notion from Last Word on Sports is he's suggesting that you bring Bakhtiari in and already bench Kingsley. I'm not willing to go that far. I'm willing to bring in Bakhtiari, but I'm not doing it at the expense of benching the King after one damn game here. To me, we talk about overreactions. That's a bit of an overreaction, but I digress. More from Last Word on Sports. Even when Kingsley is ready for NFL reps, the team could still use a free agent like David Bakhtiari. Right tackle Jawan Taylor had a rough first season in Kansas City, and his struggles continued in Week 1. While his contract ensures the team won't cut him in 2024, Kansas City could bench him if they find a better option. At his best, Bakhtiari was a far superior player, and perhaps the Chiefs can catch lightning in a bottle. I'm not benching Kingsley for Bakhtiari. But I would love to have Bakhtiari as a swing tackle option for depth. If Kingsley doesn't figure it out, if Jawan Taylor doesn't develop into the player he's supposed to be and bounce back after the rough first season he had in Kansas City, then you have another option. Or if there's an injury, if Kingsley goes down, if Jawan Taylor goes down, then you're feeling really comfortable, or just as a rotational piece, whatever it may be. Now, all of a sudden, I'm interested in bringing in Bakhtiari, but I'm not bringing him in with the guarantee that he's immediately replacing one of these guys in the offensive line. Bakhtiari's had a very good career, a two-time first-team All-Pro, a three-time Pro Bowler, but he's been injury-riddled as of late, missing most of the 2023 campaign with a knee injury. And before that, he was just one of the best offensive linemen in all of football. The last season where he played the majority of games, you go back to 2022, in 11 games played, in 596 snaps, he had a pass block grade of 87.8, an overall grade of 79.8, and a run block grade of 68.5. And on top of that, he very well just might want to be a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. When you look at these free agents, you do have to ask yourself, do they want to be here? And based on what Bakhtiari said a while back on what he's looking for in his next team, he might be hinting at that he wants to be a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. He said the following: I am and love being a left tackle, but do I also want to win a Super Bowl? That's something that is really, really big too. That's one of the big things that's kind of evaded me and has been extremely elusive to this point in my career. I don't hate the idea. If a guy wants to come in, compete, and try to win a Super Bowl, there's not a better place to do it than right here with the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's ask you, should the Chiefs sign David Bakhtiari? Two options here. Type S for sign, P for pass. Weigh in our pinned comment today. Let us know what you think. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time, the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, Game Time's got you covered. You choose the event you want to go to. Maybe you want to go to this weekend's game against the Bengals. Then you choose your seat, see if you like that seat or not, and you're checking out with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have their super deals. If you stumble upon a super deal, you're not going to want to pass up on it, folks. And their seat deals, checking out what that seat view is like, man, it's going to change your life. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. The link is in the comments and a description of today's video. I got the documents. The details are out on Noah Cray's new extension with the Kansas City Chiefs. If you recall, the news was released within minutes of the Chiefs opener with the Baltimore Ravens on Thursday night. And now we have an idea of what this means for Gray in Kansas City. Here's what you need to know. Like Harrison Butker and Creed Humphrey in their new deals, this new contract extension for Noah Gray supersedes Gray's final year of his rookie deal that he's on, giving him a raise while reducing his cap hit. So that opens up some more money for the Chiefs to do more things. Arrowhead Pride's John Dixon laid it out, saying the following: Gray's rookie deal was going to count $3.2 million against the cap in 2024, including a $3.1 million base salary and $78,000 from the prorated signing bonus of his rookie deal. The extension pays him $7.1 million in 2024. That comes in the form of $1.1 million base salary. $7.1 million. He can buy a nice house and buy mom one too. The minimum for an NFL player with 3 credited seasons plus a signing bonus of $6 million But since that signing bonus can spread across 4 seasons at $1.5 million each year, his 2024 cap hit falls from $550,000 to $2.6 million. So now, with that deal for Noah Gray, the Chiefs' cap space currently sits at about $6 million. And I'll say this much: Gray deserves it. Gray has been a good fit for this Chiefs offense, for a guy that's a former fifth-round pick out of Duke. I want to keep Noah Gray around. I have no reason of why he should not be a part of this Chiefs team for the future. And we saw him play pretty solid against the Baltimore Ravens last week as well. In 2023, he had career highs in receiving yards, touchdowns, and his average yards per reception. He also tied his career high in receptions in a single season. So Noah Gray is trending the right direction at this point in his career. And if you look at his career stats, 66 catches, 677 yards, 10.3 yards, a reception, and 4 touchdowns. I like what Gray is doing. Now, let's be clear. I've seen some of y'all in the comments section talk about Noah Gray and say, hey, this extension was about securing Travis Kelce's replacement. Let's make that clear. Gray is never replacing Travis Kelce. And that's okay. He is never going to be that guy, and that's fine. But he's shown that he's worth keeping around for depth at the position to be that number 2 tight end. In fact, he very well could get passed up on the depth chart by Jared Wiley, because I think Jared Wiley's got that much potential and could be that good. But even with that said, I still want Noah Gray on my team. How would you grade the extension for Noah Gray? A, B, C, D, or F? Whip out your red pen and grade it for me in the comments section. Let us know what you think. For daily Chiefs coverage, there's only one place on the entire internet that is bringing you videos like we are here on the Chiefs Report, and that's this channel. You got to subscribe. We're going to be live for most games this season with our watch parties, doing our live shows during the week, daily news and rumors, Q&A mailbags, breaking news, and more. If you're a real member of the Chiefs Kingdom, you got to lock us in. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Subscribe now, never miss a moment. We got you covered here on the channel. So, now that you have this done with Noah Gray, what is next for the Kansas City Chiefs? I expect the Chiefs will extend a few more players and keep some money in their back pocket for a couple potential moves, whether it's signing a guy like Bakhtiari, for example, or if it's another free agent they'd like, maybe there's an injury that pops up. Maybe it's a potential trade at the trade deadline. You extend these guys, move around some money, and you give yourself some flexibility. So you look at the Chiefs' weaknesses right now of where they could potentially be shopping. Corner is certainly a possibility. Interior of the defensive line. Safety, looking for some depth there. The offensive tackle position, we talked about that quite a bit at the top of the show. And then the wide receiver position. I think the wide receiver position is better than what people give him credit for, but that doesn't mean that the Chiefs are satisfied with what they have, that they won't continue to look at other options as far as that goes. The extension candidates, next up, I think, is offensive guard Trey Smith and linebacker Nick Bolton. I think both those guys are going to get paid and get their long-term money next to stick around in Kansas City for the foreseeable future. Which one will get paid next, we'll see. I lean towards Nick Bolton, but I don't have a whole lot of confidence in that. If you had to pick one to extend, who would it be? Would you go Trey Smith or would you go Nick Bolton? Type TS for Trey Smith. Type NB for Nick Bolton. Weigh in and let us know. If you enjoyed today's show, you want to beat the Bungles, like the video. We certainly appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. We'll see you next time. All right. One down. 3 to go. Up next, we will preview the Chiefs matchup with the Cincinnati Bengals. But we want to hear from you guys. Should the Chiefs sign David Bakhitiari? Type S for sign, P for pass. Tony says sign. Shad says pass. Checking from the comments earlier. Clayton says sign. Tony says sign. Eric says pass. Let's see. Big Tex, what do you think? What do you think about the idea of bringing in Bakhtiari? Would you bring him in?
Yeah, I'd sign him just for some depth. Like you said, you're not going to bench Kingsley after one bad game.
Nor should you.
Nor should you. And I think it's just going to help him get better and it's going to provide depth if they sign him. Obviously, you're not signing him to replace Kingsley. You just drafted him. But I think signing him would provide really good depth for them.
I think so. Yeah, Super Chat menu. Here is what we're offering today. First-time Super Chatters, you get the KC chant. $5, we'll sing the Mahomes song or do some karaoke by request. Somebody was asking earlier if we'd do some karaoke. Yeah, if you got a song request you want to sing, $5, we'll do it. $10, we'll take some shots. $25, we'll get Bean Boozled with the spicy jelly bean. $50, we'll get out the beer bong and all its glory right here. And if we reach 200, then we will do a boot. Currently, we're at $5 right now. So got a ways to go to get there, but certainly still possible. We've seen some crazy stuff happen before. Right now, though, it is time to preview the Chiefs matchup with the Cincinnati Bengals. I got my 5 keys to victory. We'll go over the injury report, give you my prediction, and more. Yes. By the way, the last odds I saw was 6. Yeah. It's all good. Over, under, I believe, is correct. Let me double-check that here. Over-under's down to 47 as well. Yep. Just 47 is fine. Yeah, just -6. Yep. All right, game preview next. We'll talk about Xavier Worthy, and then we'll do Q&A mailbag. Big Tex, we can still use some questions for that mailbag, right? How can people get involved in the mailbag segment, Tex?
Gotcha. If you guys use hashtag Chiefs in your question, do hashtag with the Chiefs together, then a space, then your question, and it'll pull in our software, and we can answer your question. I actually see Shad. Shad is already ahead of the curve. He's asked 3 different questions. What a beast. And I see Tony in there. But yes, use hashtag Chiefs, space, then your question. We got plenty of questions in there, actually. Good stuff, Chiefs Kingdom.
Very good. All right. Without further ado, let's get started with our game preview. Chiefs and Bengals. And for those of you out there, when I say Bengals, it's a joke, all right? Like I'm not that stupid, okay? We're being am I a little dumb sometimes? Sometimes. But no. We're making fun of the Bengals when we say that. All right, without further ado, let's preview this matchup, Chiefs and Bengals, right now here on the Chiefs Report. Week number 2 in the National Football League. Your Kansas City Chiefs looking to start the season 2-0 as they face Joe Burrow and the high-powered Cincinnati Bengals attack. The Chiefs come in as just about a touchdown favorite, 6 to be exact. The Bengals coming into this game off of a loss to the New England Patriots last week, looking to get back on track. The over-under set at 47. The Chiefs with a couple extra days off from playing on Thursday Night Football. Now let's see what they can do week 2 going from here. Will the Chiefs be able to put it all together and get another win and keep the undefeated season alive? On this edition of the Chiefs Report, we will go over my 5 keys to victory. We'll break down the injury report as well as my prediction that I'll give you coming up at the end of today's show. If you're ready for Chiefs football, spam C in the comments section. I want to see as many C's as we can. I want to see at least 300. It's our rallying cry. We're going to be doing a watch party on Sunday afternoon, and we're spamming C in the chat as if we're in Arrowhead Stadium, as if we're there in the seats, letting our voice be heard. So if you're ready for a Chiefs win, if you want to get this chat popping as if we're in the stadium together, spam C in the comment section. We'll get started with today's show. Let's start with the injury report for Kansas City. Obviously, we know about Clyde and a couple others that are out for a while. But for now, of the active roster, Marquise Brown is the only player on the injury report for Kansas City. He remains questionable on Sunday with that shoulder injury. We've been told it's about a 50-50 chance that he plays and that he will for sure play week 3 against the Falcons, but at least his status for Sunday remains questionable at this point. Meanwhile, the Bengals injury report. T. Higgins is questionable with a hamstring injury. Well, defensive tackle Chris Jenkins with a thumb injury, he's questionable. And then Mims, the offensive tackle, with a pec injury, he is questionable. So the Bengals a little bit more banged up than Kansas City is at this point in time. If you want the Chiefs to beat the Bengals, like the video. Don't jinx it. We don't want to be losing to those Bungles. If we get at least 500 likes on today's video, that guarantees victory. Do your part. Don't be the reason why the Chiefs don't win because you didn't like the video. Don't make me come find you because you didn't do your part. Like the video, and we'll get to our keys to the game. Number one, let's start with the quarterback position. The Cincinnati Bengals, led by quarterback Joe Burrow, one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. And he's been very good over the years against the Kansas City Chiefs. One of the best quarterbacks that they've faced in recent memory. And when you talk about Joe Burrow in the Bengals, I know that they've made a point to make improvements on the offensive line. One of the guys in particular that they paid a lot of money to was former Chief Orlando Brown, right? Even with that said, blocking is still a problem. It's been an issue the entire time Joe Burrow's been there, and it's been the biggest reason why he's been banged up as much as he has throughout his career. And for me, if I'm the Chiefs, I'm taking advantage of that questionable offensive line for the Cincinnati Bengals team. I'm getting after Joe Burrow as much as possible. Since 2021, Joe Burrow has been sacked 119 times. That's fourth most among all quarterbacks in the NFL. And you think about it, Joe Burrow, we mentioned the record of what he's done against Kansas City. Remember, he didn't start last year's game as he was banged up, missed that December contest. So it's been a while since we've seen the Chiefs face Joe Burrow. But he has a winning record against the Chiefs all time, 3-1. With his last win coming December 4th, 2022, in a 27-24 game. So Joe Burrow, they call him Joe Cool, ice in his veins and all that. He's been fearless about playing this Chiefs team in the past. He's won big games at Arrowhead before. Cannot let him get too confident. Get after him early, get that pressure, and really just go after him. To me, that's going to be a huge key. If you want a sack on Joe Burrow, here's what I want you guys to do. Type sack in the comments section. And for each individual sack, each individual comment, that equals one sack on Joe Burrow. So if you want the Chiefs to get 5 sacks on Joe Burrow, type sack 5 different times in the comments section. If you want 10 sacks, type it 10 times. I don't care. Spam sack in the comments section. Each one represents a sack on Joe Burrow. Number 2, let's talk offense for the Chiefs. And for me, it's running the damn ball with Isaiah Pacheco. Pacheco, one of the best running backs in football. And when I look back at what the Patriots did to the Bengals last week, what shocked everybody was how effective they were in the run game. The Patriots' run game was one of the worst in the NFL last year. They had an awful offensive line. But for whatever reason, a flip just switched last week for the Patriots as they were able to run the football effectively. The Bengals gave up 170 yards against the Patriots last week, including 120 yards from running back Ramondre Stevenson. So if you're looking at the film of trying to figure out, all right, what can we do that the Patriots did well, you got to run the football. And you think about this. Pacheco, according to the nerds at Stats Insider, have given him an over 50% chance of an anytime touchdown and a 12.2% chance of scoring the very first touchdown of the game. So that tells me that the analytics say that Pacheco running the football is a pretty good recipe, that the Bengals are going to have some problems stopping the run. And if you look back at last week's game against the Ravens, Pacheco was held in check to an extent, no pun intended, with 15 carries, 45 yards, and a touchdown. I love to throw it as much as anybody, especially when you have a guy like Patrick Mahomes and all the weapons that he has to throw to in the passing game. But don't be afraid to run the football. Run it down their throats and insert your will. And Pacheco gives you the opportunity to do that as far as I'm concerned. Who do you got? You going with the Chiefs or you going with the Bengals? I'll give you my pick coming up later, but I want to hear from you guys. Type KC for Chiefs. Type CIN for Bengals. Weigh in and let us know. We're going to be live on the Chiefs Report coming up on Sunday afternoon for the Chiefs and Bengals, as we'll be doing a watch party. Big Tech's going to be along with me as well. Should be a great time. We'll get our coverage started around 3:25 Central Time, 4:25 Eastern. Turn on your notifications. That way you're alerted when we go live here on the channel, as we'll be reacting to the game in real time, having a few drinks on hand. It's going to be a great time. Don't miss out. Chiefs and Bengals Watch Party live right here on the Chiefs Report. Subscribe now, youtube.com/ChiefsTV, and we'll see you then. Number 3 on our keys to victory for Kansas City. I'm looking at Rashee Rice and getting Rashee Rice involved early. Rashee Rice had a fantastic training camp and preseason and did really good in the opener against the Baltimore Ravens. And he's really starting to come into his own. I said this a few days ago, and I'll repeat it. I think that Rashee Rice has the potential to be one of the top receivers in this league. And what we've seen really since about week 13 of last year is him kind of figure it out, right? His 103 yards that he had against the Ravens, that was his 4th 100-plus yard receiving game he's had since week 13 of 2023, including the playoffs. So he's riding a wave of momentum. He's putting it together. You look at the numbers last week, just unstoppable. 7 catches, 103 yards, close to 15 yards of reception. Rashee Rice is turning into that dude, and he looks like a legit number 1 receiving option. I'm looking to get the ball to him early, to establish things quickly, and be a problem for this Bengals defense. Make them try to beat Rashee Rice. More to come here on the Chiefs Report here in just a moment, but first let's tell you about today's sponsor. That is Game Time. Game Time, the place to go for last-minute tickets. The best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more. Maybe you want to go to this Chiefs-Bengals game. You choose the event you want to go to, choose the seat you want, see if you like that seat or not, and then you're checking out with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals and great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have their super deals. If you stumble upon a super deal, you're not going to want to pass that up. They also have their seat views, so you can see if you like that seat or not, get the visual. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it, Game Time? The link is in the comments and in the description of today's video. Let's go back to the defense now and talk about Ja'Marr Chase. Ja'Marr Chase, one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League, and he has been a problem for the Chiefs to deal with over the years. In his last 3 regular season games against Kansas City, Ja'Marr Chase has a total of 21 catches for 404 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. That's a lot. That's too much. Can't let that happen again. Look, I think about the old Belichick philosophy. Belichick, what he was so good about was taking away your best receiving threat. We saw that over the years when the Chiefs would play the Patriots, where he would focus in on Kelsey one day, or he would focus in on Tyreek Hill and make the other guys beat you. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm taking that Belichick mindset where I say, we're not going to let Ja'Marr Chase beat us. If it's T. Higgins, fine. If it's somebody else, fine. Let's see how that works. But Ja'Marr Chase cannot go off for whatever reason. He cannot be the reason why the Bengals win this football game. I am willing to double team him all day to keep him contained. Last week against the Patriots, 6 catches, 62 yards, 10 yards of reception. For having 6 catches, I would take those stats to only give up 62 yards. 6 catches, probably too many, but if you can hold him to just 10 yards to catch, that would be a win if you're the Kansas City Chiefs. Who will be the Chiefs MVP against the Bengals? if you had to pick one player, whether it's offense or defense, maybe it's a special teamer for all that means, who is it and why? Weigh in. Let us know in the comments section. Last but not least, I know that the Chiefs love to play fast at times, and we've seen this team be very effective when it comes to all gas, no brakes, and all that. But sometimes, folks, it's okay to run the football and wear out clock. I would argue nobody has been better in the NFL in the last 5+ years of running the 4-minute offense than Patrick Mahomes and this Kansas City Chiefs team. When they need to run the football, when they need to wear out clock, they know how to do that. For me, I'm not trying to make this a shootout. I don't want this to be a 30-plus ball game for both sides. I want to keep this low scoring. I want to keep the ball out of Joe Burrow's hands and manage the clock and use it effectively. Think about this. In the Chiefs' win last week against the Baltimore Ravens, they only had the ball for 26 minutes and 17 seconds. Now, it worked out. They did win the football game, but I would have liked to seen a little less of Lamar Jackson on the field personally. Not to mention, that's going to make life easier on your defense if you can take a little more time and wear out a little more clock. Compared to the Bengals and their performance against the Patriots, what did the Patriots do so well last week? We mentioned they ran the football, and they kept it out of Joe Burrow's hands. The Bengals only had the ball for 25 minutes and 57 seconds. So winning the time of possession could be very crucial. To recap, our keys to victory for a Chiefs win against the Bengals: pressure on Joe Burrow, running the football with Pacheco, run the damn ball, getting Rashee Rice involved early, limiting Jamar Chase, and winning the time of possession. If the Chiefs do all those things, they'll be in great shape. I'm going with the Chiefs. You knew I was picking the Chiefs. I'm not picking against the Chiefs. I got Kansas City 30-23. They get to 30 points, but they limit the Bengals offense, hold them to 23, and get their second win of the season. What will the final score be of this one? Get your predictions in now. Chiefs or Bengals? Who wins? What's the final? Let us know. I got the Chiefs 30-23. I want to hear from you guys. Weigh in the comments section. Let us know. And we will see you coming up on Sunday afternoon for Chiefs and Bengals live right here on the Chiefs Report. All right. Halfway home. Up next, we are talking about Big Texas' favorite guy, Xavier Worthy. He is worthy. Xavier Worthy. Big Tex, when I say that, when I say he is worthy, or I feel like a televangelist talking about Xavier Worthy.
It does sound like that quite a bit. It does sound like that.
Tex, we could still use some questions in the mailbag, right?
Yeah, I definitely think that could help us out. Let's see.
Tell us about how people can get involved in the mailbag segment.
Yeah,
Big
of
Tex.
course. So, obviously, if you super chat with our super chat menu, you take priority on our mailbag segment, especially if you include a question in that super chat. But other than that, we also have, just give me a moment to pull it up, we have this option. You can use #Chiefs, and then a space, and then your question. See how it's #Chiefs, and then there's a space, and then you put your question? Do it exactly like that, and then I'll be able to pull it in our software, and we can answer your question on the mailbag that's coming up later at the end of our show, or later towards the end of our show.
How about that?
That's right.
So send in a super chat, $sign next to the chat box. Or you can use the #Chiefs. Certainly could use some more questions for our final segment that we'll be bringing you coming up in just a bit. Right now, though, let's talk all things Xavier Worthy. I'm going to tell you why Xavier Worthy is going to shock the NFL. Beyond just what we saw week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens, there's a whole lot more to come for Xavier Worthy. We'll explain more here in just a bit. And then we'll get to our Q&A mailbag. Use #Chiefs or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of today's show. All right. Yeah. It looks great. Without further ado, let's talk Xavier Worthy. He is worthy. Xavier Worthy. We'll tell you about what he brings to this Kansas City team, why he's going to shock the rest of the National Football League here in 2024. Right now, here, as we continue with our live coverage here on the Chiefs Report. He is worthy. Xavier Worthy, the Kansas City Chiefs rookie wide receiver, had a really good debut against the Baltimore Ravens, but he's not done yet, folks. Far from it. Coming up on today's show, I'm going to explain why in 2024, Xavier Worthy will shock the National Football League. We'll tell you what my reasonings are. We'll let you hear from some experts. We'll let you hear from Xavier Worthy himself coming up in just a moment. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. If you want to show Xavier Worthy some love, like the video. Who knows? He may be watching, maybe somebody in his family, somebody close to him. We want to let it be known that we're rooting on Xavier Worthy, that we are a pro-Xavier Worthy program, that we believe in him. Who knows who could be watching? Let's go ahead and get at least 500 likes for Xavier Worthy. Show some support for Xavier Worthy, and we'll get going here on today's show. Xavier Worthy, very good showing against the Baltimore Ravens. And I heard some people say that, well, he pulled off a couple gimmicks, or, he showed some flashes here and there. But, folks, I believe this is more than just a couple of gimmicks or a flash in the pan for Xavier Worthy. This is really just the start. And it's not just the speed. I understand he's fast and all that, but he does so much more than that and will continue to do so. Let's go back and look at what he did against the Baltimore Ravens this past week. Xavier Worthy had 2 catches for 47 yards with an average of 23.5 yards a reception with 1 touchdown through the air. And then he also was effective on the ground game as well. The very first touchdown score of the season for the Chiefs was a reverse play to Xavier Worthy on a 21-yard play that he took to the house, to the end zone, to get the first points of the season for Kansas City. And it was just electric. Everybody was on their feet. It was a hell of a way to start the season for the Kansas City Chiefs. And Xavier Worthy had this to say on his NFL debut. This is everything I dreamed of. Like I said before, I didn't want to go nowhere else but the Chiefs. So just having this moment and showing up, it's an amazing feeling. This gives me a lot of confidence. It just shows my maturity and how I go about my business every day at practice. I study and I work really hard. As long as you do that, there's nothing to be nervous. It's a team effort. As long as we win, I'm perfectly fine. I saw enough from Worthy in week 1 to see that you could kind of take the training wheels off and just let him go to work. I think that with a rookie, and really all rookies, when they're kind of thrown into the fire, you're somewhat limited, right? You're wondering, all right, are they going to be nervous? Are they going to live up to potential? Are they ready for that moment? And Xavier Worthy did enough for me of what I saw week 1 where I say, just go for it. Go all in. Let him do his thing, and don't hold him back. And I don't think Andy Reid is going to hold him back. The raw speed set the record in the 40-yard dash at the 2024 Combine, a 4.21 for the 2-time All-Big 12 selection out of the University of Texas. And this is a guy, the one concern that was out there about Xavier Worthy when he was selected was the careless drops. That was a problem that he had at the University of Texas. And with that confidence that he showed week 1, and just hearing from him there a moment ago, I don't think you have to worry about the nerves in Xavier Worthy. That this is somebody as a rookie that's showing that confidence, that the stage isn't too big. The lights aren't too bright for Xavier Worthy. Do you believe in Xavier Worthy? I'm all in on Xavier Worthy. He is worthy. Do you believe in Xavier Worthy? Tap B for believe, D for don't. Weigh in and let us know. The Chiefs Report is talking all things Kansas City Chiefs each and every day here on the channel as we bring you our daily news and rumors. We're live once a week. We're doing our watch parties throughout the season, Q&A mailbags, breaking news, and more. Stay up to date with everything you need to know on your Kansas City Chiefs each and every day on the channel. We got you covered. Subscribe now for free. Lock us in, youtube.com/ChiefsTV, and stay alert with your Kansas City Chiefs. We got you covered. So after week 1, Andy Reid was asked about Xavier Worthy and kind of what he has in mind for his rookie receiver. And I got to tell you, I really liked what Andy had to say. He kind of warned the rest of the NFL about Xavier Worthy. So with that said, It's not one of those situations where we didn't tell you so. Now everybody should be aware of what Xavier Worthy means to this Chiefs team. Andy Reid said the following. He does have speed and some versatility going across the middle. He had a nice grab across the middle. I think teams that we play will see that, and if they didn't know it before, they know it now. So you can tell Andy has plans to use him in the middle of the field. Think about this. Last week, we want to talk about the impact of just last week alone. The Chiefs' offense had a league high of 7.1 yards per pass play. That includes incompletions. That's also without Hollywood Brown, folks. They tied two different teams for passing first downs in week one with 15. And Xavier Worthy contributed to 34 offensive snaps. All of those stats reflect back to Xavier Worthy. He's not the complete reason why, but he's a worthy difference. The Chiefs' offense, think about this, folks, after 1 week, is nowhere near the best of what they can potentially be. They are not even close to their full potential. But this offense is already better than last year's offense. It's already better than the year prior to that. And what did they do? They put a ring on this finger. They put a ring on this finger in those Super Bowls. If this offense continues to develop like what I think we're about to see, you're going to need to put a ring on that finger too. The rest of the league, folks, should be on notice. They should be scared of this offense. Xavier on one side. Hollywood is going to come back. Rashee Rice. I've talked a lot about Rashee Rice on this program too, that I think is turning into a true number one threat. And then Jalen, you talk about, guys like Justin Watson, Juju, Hardman, Sky Moore. I mean, the speed that's on this offense, it's almost just unfair for everybody else. But I'm here for it, folks. And you're talking about a passing game that now has vertical threats, the way they can spread things out, that they haven't been able to do since Tyreek Hill left town. What's your confidence level in the Chiefs' offense if you had to scale it for me? 1 through 10, weigh in, let us know. I'm feeling very confident. I'm at about a 9 out of 10 right now. Weigh in, tell me what you think. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, Game Time's got it all. Need a ticket for the Bengals game this weekend? We got you covered on Game Time. Choose the event you want to go to. Then you select your seat, see if you like that seat or not, get the visual, and you're checking out with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have their super deals. If you see a super deal, you can't pass that up. They have their seat views. Check out that seat. See if it's for you. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. So then the next question becomes, Xavier Worthy's playing really good. This offense is off to a great start and all of that. But is it a one-hit wonder, or is it sustainable for Xavier Worthy? NFL insider Ryan Wilson of CBS Sports laid this out when he was asked, is it sustainable? And he said this, yep. And I feel like there isn't much more to add, mostly because he's in Kansas City's offense and not, say, the Patriots. Patriots out here taking strays. Hollywood Brown will return in a few weeks, making Worthy's job even easier. And like those rookies who kept getting better a year ago, Puka Nacua, Jordan Addison, Marvin Mims, Rashee Rice, Worthy landed in one of the best situations for a young pass catcher. Patrick Mahomes has the best receivers he's had since Tyreek Hill was traded. And that's terrible news for the rest of the conference. And one more thing, as we're wrapping up this on Xavier Worthy. What he's already doing is making his teammates better. Listen to this from Ron Kopp, who covers the Chiefs, does some film review for Arrowhead Pride, and he was breaking this down with the film on Worthy, and he said this: Worthy's speed threatens safeties and opens up the middle of the field, especially when it looks like a shot play. KC hurries to the line in odd and heavy formations. They flood routes right, but Worthy's deep corner takes the eyes off of both safeties. Watson on the backside is disregarded. And so then a guy like Watson all of a sudden is open. Why? Because of Xavier Worthy. Now, will Xavier Worthy end up being Rookie of the Year? Is that possible? What do you guys think? Y for yes, in for no. Chime in. Tell us what you think. If you enjoyed today's show, if you're written on Xavier Worthy, like the video, do your part. Show some love to the newest star of the Kansas City Chiefs. And we'll see you next time here on the channel. All right. 3 down, 1 to go. Tex, you like all that about your boy Worthy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That get you hyped?
That got me hyped. I'm on cloud 9 with my horns, and then hearing you talk about a former Longhorn legend being a beast in the NFL always makes Big Tex happy, no doubt.
Oh, man. Yes. Yeah, go to the Super Chat menu while you go. Our final segment, we will do our Q&A mailbag. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of the show. We also have our Super Chat menu. If you guys would like to contribute, support the work we're doing, party and have a good time today, here's how you can do so. First-time Super Chatters, you get the KC chant. $5 Super Chat, we'll sing you the Mahomes song or karaoke by request. We had somebody in the chat asking earlier if we do some karaoke. If you got a song request, yeah, we'll do it for $5 Super Chat. $10, we'll take a shot. $25, we'll get bean boozled with the spicy jelly beans. Got sriracha, jalapeno, cayenne, habanero, Carolina Reaper. And $50 Super Chat, we'll do a beer bong as we'll chug this thing in all its glory with a $50 Super Chat. If we reach 200, then we will do a boot. 3 beers in 1, drinking as fast as we can. $100 gets you the spot in our Kingdom Club. That is our Chiefs Report Hall of Fame, where you get your name added to the Chiefs Report Rally Towel. So that is what is on the Super Chat menu. Keep getting your questions in. Hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. Bill, I want to see you in this mailbag. Vicky, Greg, Paul, get those questions in now, as we got about 2 minutes here before the mailbag segment starts. Riley, I want you to get in on this as well. Use hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. Any questions you guys got, we will answer them coming up in just a bit. Carvings, I want you to get in on the mailbag. Bill, Greg, Ian, get in on this mailbag segment. This is a chance for you to get your questions on screen, to have your face seen in front of everybody, your avatar, as well as whatever comments you got. Use hashtag Chiefs, and we will include you in this mailbag segment, our final segment of the day, before we wrap up and call it a show for this Tuesday afternoon. We are live here on the Chiefs Report each and every Tuesday at 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central Time. So whatever you do, make a point to be here on Tuesday afternoons for our live show. And if you miss our live shows for whatever reason, then you can check out our videos on the channel throughout the week, which include these segments that we do within our live show. We post them throughout the next couple days. So that is on the docket there. A reminder, we'll be live coming up this Sunday for Chiefs and Bengals. Our coverage begins at 4:25 Eastern, 3:25 Pacific, Central, rather, for Chiefs and Bengals. I'll be here. Big Tex will be here. We'll have a great time. We'll see you then right here on the Chiefs Report. Tex, I got some questions, so I think we should be good to go with this mailbag segment before we wrap up and call it a day here on this feel-good Tuesday, going up on a Tuesday. Terrence, don't put a space between your questions. It's got to be together. Chiefs, one thing together. Oh, yeah. We'll open up with that. Like Keith, I see your question, but you didn't use hashtag Chiefs. How many times did I have to tell y'all? Hashtag Chiefs. One thing. Terrence, no space. No space. It's got to be together. Got to be together to make that work. Still got time to get that in for the mailbag segment here. All right. Terrence deleted. He's going to try again. He's going to give it another shot. Okay, Terrence. Try again, Terrence. Oh, man. All right. See, you got to be like Greg. Greg got it right. Greg knows mailbags. He used hashtag Chiefs correctly. Like Chaz, I see your comment, but I can't put that in the mailbag without hashtag Chiefs or without a super chat. So that is how it's done. There we go. Tony's got the right idea. All right. Final segment, and then we get to go home. Let's do our mailbag right now here on the Chiefs Report. Tyler Jones, Big Tex here with you. Thanks for hanging out here on this Tuesday afternoon on the channel. Tex, we about ready? All right, without further ado, mailbag starts right now. It is time to touch our bags and drop our sack on this mailbag edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. Thanks for joining us. You got questions, you're in luck. I got answers. This comes from our live show that we do on Tuesdays where people submit questions to us. We react to them in real time. We've got all sorts of questions today, everything from some trade rumors that you guys are talking about to thoughts on where this Chiefs team is at after week one, heading into week two. We'll dissect it all coming up in just a moment. Before we do, want to make sure that not only you're subscribed to the Chiefs Report, but also you're part of the Noti Gang. You may be saying, Tyler, what is the Noti Gang? That sounds weird. Well, the Noti Gang is the folks that not only are subscribed to the channel, but have their notifications turned on. That way they never miss a video, whether it's a watch party, a live show, breaking news, mailbags like you're seeing here, whatever it may be. They're the first to know when we have new content on the channel. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, lock us in, and we'll get started with today's show. Mike with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Mike. Mike writes in, hi, Tyler. Hi, Mike. It is a great time in my football world. The Chiefs are going for a three-peat, and my Huskers are finally on the right track. Mike, good to see you. Let's start with the first part, then we'll go to the second part. Yes, the Chiefs, this is still the team to beat. Nothing has changed. The Chiefs are the favorites to three-peat and win another Super Bowl title. It is the Chiefs' world, and we're all just living in it at this point. And think about this. Last year, that was, I thought, the worst roster in the Mahomes era, and they still won the whole thing. This team is much better than last year's squad. They stay healthy. Yes, they should be on track to three-peat. As far as your Huskers go, I got to tell you, Mike, you got to be feeling pretty good if you're a Nebraska Cornhuskers fan right now. Matt Rule, I'm a big fan. I liked him since he was at Baylor. Didn't work out, obviously, with the Carolina Panthers, but he's the right coach. I think he might be the best coach they've had since Frank Sulich. Big win against Colorado over the weekend. I think they got an outside chance to compete in the Big Ten potentially. Watch out for the Cornhuskers. Certainly a fun team to watch. Raiola, their quarterback, they're saying that he's got the hair, kind of looks like Mahomes out there. I don't necessarily think he plays like him, but I appreciate the imitation for Mahomes there. So, yeah, a lot to be excited about for both your teams there, Mike. Casey Fan for Life writes in, now that Hassan Reddick has missed a game for the Jets, does that increase the Chiefs' chances to trade for him? Short answer, yes. Long answer, still unlikely that the Chiefs trade for Hassan Reddick at this point. Think about this, all right? When it comes to Hassan Reddick, not only is he looking to get paid and get paid a significant amount of money, but then you got to give out draft capital for him too, which is going to be probably a third-round pick, I would think. And the Jets say they're not really shopping him. But until he plays a down for the New York Jets, he's on the market as far as I'm concerned. And Hassan Reddick, come off a season with 11 sacks, 16 the year prior. would be an immediate impact player for this Kansas City Chiefs team. I think he'd be awesome to have. But the way that he's handled this, first leaving Philly and now not even communicating with the New York Jets, not showing up, not wanting to be there. I mean, he's losing money not playing. And he can't put that aside and go on the football field. To me, that's a major red flag. So I don't know if I'm wanting to trade for Hassan Reddick. It's one of those deals where, hey, Brett Veach, he's earned my trust. If Brett Veach wants him, I'm not going to be mad about it. But all things considered, I would lean towards no, I wouldn't do it. And I don't think the Chiefs are going to do it. But we'll see. We'll see. Should the Chiefs trade for Hassan Reddick? Weigh in our pin comment today. Let us know. T for trade, P for pass. What would you do? Is John Quinones. What would you do on ABC? One said. T for trade, P for pass. Let us know. Tony the Tiger. Good to see you. Hashtag Chiefs. I think we'll see Hollywood Brown back next week when the Chiefs take on the Falcons for Sunday Night Football. What do you say, Tyler? Man, Sunday Night Football. Can't wait. Carrie Underwood. I love the new intro video this year. Carrie Underwood doesn't miss. With that said, Sunday Night Football, yeah, I think Hollywood's backed in for sure. Seems about 50-50 his chances to play against the Bungles, but I would be shocked if he's not back in time for that Falcons game. And it totally changes everything for this Chiefs offense with Hollywood Brown. This offense already looks good with Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy and Kelsey and Pacheco and all that. But you get Hollywood out there, and it's going to take this offense to a whole nother level. It's going to put the rest of the NFL on notice. You're going to have a lot of speed. What are you going to do about the middle of the field with all those guys out there? And it adds a whole nother element to this offense we haven't seen since Tyreek Hill was around. The ability to stretch the field, get those big plays. Hopefully Hollywood gets out there. No need to rush him till he's ready, but, yeah, I would be pumped to see Hollywood out there. Pat writes in, could you see the Chiefs making a trade for Evan Neal? Evan Neal's interesting to me. This is somebody that was a former first-round pick. It was supposed to be the left tackle, the future for the New York Jets, and it was just simply atrocious so far in his career with New York. They moved him to right tackle. Then he got benched. His grades last year were just awful. In 460 snaps, had an offensive grade of less than 40. I don't even know how that happens. A pass block grade of 38.5, a run block rate of 51.1. He has been a bust. B-U-S-T, and not the good kind of bust. With that said, Evan Neal, I mean, if I'm giving up like a 6th or 7th round pick, I'd take a flyer on him. I'm not benching somebody like Kingsley for him, but I'd give him a shot as a rotational guy and see if he can work your way in there. If something happens to Kingsley or Jawan Taylor, then maybe that wouldn't be the worst option in the world. But I don't think that trading for Evan Neal is the difference in this team necessarily winning a Super Bowl or not. I think it's worth a shot, but it's not at the expense of benching a starter. Should the Chiefs trade for Evan Neal? Type Y for yes, N for no. I say yes, but, I mean, we'll see, right? I mean, we're not going to be jumping up and down like, man, you got a former first-round pick if you bring Evan Neal in. At the end of the day, he just hasn't done anything at this point. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time, the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more? Game Time, it's got it all. Looking for tickets to maybe the Bengals game this weekend? They got those too, as well as Chiefs games throughout the season. Choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. Then you pick your seat, see if you like that seat or not. You're checking out with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats. You don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have their super deals. If you stumble upon a super deal, you're not going to want to pass that up. They have their seat views. Get to check out the seats, see if you like that seat or not. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Got about time for 2 more questions here. Tony writes in, I think Xavier Worthy is going to go all out this Sunday. Not a lot of people think Worthy not fast enough. Well, I beg to differ. You're wrong because he's going to do well. We've seen it through. I don't know who thinks Xavier Worthy's not fast enough. That's a new one to me. But, Tony, I like where your head's at on this. I think Worthy's going to be great. I have no reason to think otherwise. I like what Andy has done already to get him involved and give him a significant role in this offense. I'm looking for the Chiefs to use him to stretch the field, get to the middle of the field, get in space, take advantage of that speed. I think it could be a very nice day for Xavier Worthy on Sunday. Last question. Shad writes in, do you think the Chiefs need a more athletic linebacker for passing downs? I think they're fine. I think Nick Bolton is good enough. I think Leo Chanel is fine. True Tranquil. I think they're okay. I haven't seen anything to say that, yeah, that's got to change. I think it's better than what it's given credit for when it comes to that linebacker spot. And I think Nick Bolton's about to get paid here pretty soon, too. Thanks for joining us here on the channel. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications. Lock us in. I'm Tyler Jones. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. All right. That about does it. We are about to sign off. Last chance to get in on the Super Chat menu if you'd like to contribute and keep this show going for a bit. In the meantime, join us on Sunday for Chiefs and Bengals, 4:25 Eastern, 3:25 Central Time right here. I'll be here. Big Tex will be here. Going to be a lot of fun. Subscribe now, youtube.com/Chiefs TV. We will see you then. For Big Tex, I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday afternoon. More to come on the channel throughout the next several days. Lock us in, stay up to date, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day. So long, everybody.